What is going on, boys and girls? It's me, Ben DPB, back with another Ben Meets, and this time I've got myself a guest that I'm looking forward to because he's a fellow Welshman like myself, despite what my accent sounds like. I am a Welshman, honest. And it's another ChrisOrmie. How are you, brother?
I'm good, thanks.
Welcome to the show. Shemai.
Thank you very much.
So what we're going to get into, my friend, we're going to talk about FM19 now. You are a Twitch streamer. So before we get in there, if you haven't done so, all of Chris's details are going to be down below in regards to his Twitch, his Twitter, etc. And this, of course, is Ben Meets, presented by, in association with, sponsored with Passion4FM. For all your FM needs, all your FM guides, there's some fantastic guides, let alone blogs, Passion4FM website. You got a little bit there all about other content creators. So anyway, Chris, you had a save on FM19 that I thoroughly enjoyed, mostly because, well, it was based in Wales. As managing Swansea, but why don't you tell us which of your FM19 saves you enjoyed the most, and what about it did you enjoy so much?
I'm really split on that because, I took a break from I barely played FM16, and then I took a 2-year break. I missed 17, missed 18, and I came back pretty late into the run for 19. So I was wondering if I'd get back into the game, if I'd enjoy it again. And of course, I played Swansea, and I loved what I was able to do and where we ended up. And it was a great journey, not only with the club in the game, but for me returning to FM, returning to Twitch after 2.5 years away. It was quite a nice journey all in, I feel. But then after that, I think we did 8 seasons with Swansea, and then we were in such a good place. I started again. I did a journeyman. And again, that was another nice story, starting from the bottom, working up, and finally winning the Champions League with Lorient in France. So overcoming PSG and the whole sort of French league is really stacked against you if you're not really one of the big clubs. It's very much a tiered league with PSG at the top, Monaco just behind, and then maybe Lyon and Marseille. But to break into the top 4 is big, and then to break into the top 2, and then to chase PSG and finally overcome them. I don't know. I was all about the journeys on FM19. So the journey with Swansea from the Championship to the Champions League, and then again starting from the bottom and going all the way, finally with Lorient in the journeyman. So I had 2 great saves. They both lasted 8-9 years, and I loved every moment of both of them.
You sort of put me to shame because I thought I'd done well with the Champions League for Aberdeen, but the fact that you toppled PSG and won the Champions League is pretty damn impressive. If I'm being honest with you, that must have been a big moment for you. I mean, if you're not an avid FM player, is winning me with the Champions League with Aberdeen was my favourite FM moment ever. I loved it. I was up there winning the FA Cup with Luton when I was in a non-league team. That was awesome for me years ago. But to win the Champions League of Lorient, is that your biggest achievement at FM to date?
I've had a few good. I've been playing FM since Championship Manager 2, so that's about 25 years now. It's a quarter of a century. There's a lot of games, and there's a lot of good Liverpool saves, a lot of good Swansea saves. They're my normal go-tos. And then random games where I win, certain leagues or I come close. I think Kettering on 2007, I took from non-league to the Champions League semi-final, and then the board sacked me. I think that was 11 years from non-league to the Champions League semi-final. We did bad in the Premier League, and I got fired. But that's still very memorable to me, even though it wasn't somewhere I won. It still meant a lot for the journey and the players that I did that with. A lot of them were free transfers in League 1, League 2. There were a lot of the clubs sort of at the top end, the big Premier League teams that released youngsters. And that's what I built the club on. And they became legends with me there. But I don't know, I've had a lot of good saves. Lorient was, like I say, chasing PSG, and they're such a mammoth in that French league.
Yeah.
Nobody can compete with them realistically. And the number, they had 6 world-class strikers, and they played two on the bench and another 2 out on loan. And I'm there struggling to find players. So the disparity was huge. So finally, on the last game of the last season, I knew I was going to end it no matter what happened. And to get the Champions League was just massive relief and just elation. So that was a big achievement for me. I didn't think I'd get it done, but we just about managed to do it.
Do you have a particular favourite player from FM20? You can choose either save Swansea and Lorient or your journeyman. Do you have a favourite player?
There's a lot from Swansea because I overhauled everybody. I don't think there was a staff member, or maybe there was one or two. I think I kept Alan Tate with me as a staff member with Swansea, but pretty much cleared out everybody. So a lot of regen players. The real player I had at Swansea that I loved was Sandro Kalinovic, striker. I believe he's at Dinamo Zagreb right now. Just a young Croatian striker who I think I bought for like 4 million in the Championship. And I only sold him because I bought Mbappe. That's how good he was for me. And to get him so young, so cheap, absolutely adored seeing him play.
For FM19, we saw a lot of new features come out, whether it be the medical centre, the training, etc. Was there a particular feature for FM19, a new one that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy, for example? Like, a lot of people were super excited for training and then never touched it after the first week. Was there a particular feature for FM19 you did or didn't like at all?
I'd say probably training was the one that I dipped my toes into because it's been a long time since I'd done any kind of training. So I like that, and I'm still doing it now where, even though it's very hands-off still, I will go into the calendar screen and I'll add in team bonding, community outreach, and teamwork, because they don't really cost you a lot in terms of intensity, but they really build team cohesion. So if you're taking over a new team or you're overhauling a team so your cohesion goes absolutely terribly to begin with, if you just keep adding those in pre-season or now and again throughout the season, it doesn't hurt the team, but team cohesion goes through the roof. And team spirit and unity, it's a brilliant way to bring players in.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, and they're all very, very small amounts. So if you look at the calendar screen and you can see the little bars underneath to see how intensive that day's training is, just have a look at some of the small ones, and then the bottom options got your community outreach and team bonding. And I think the second one down is match preparation, and teamwork, I think, is the second one in that list. All three really help build team cohesion. And I found that to be, that and keeping morale high was key to anything I did on 19. And I'm using that now on 20.
Well, we heard Teach talk about it numerous times on his stream and in the 5-Star podcast that FM has always felt like morale manager rather than a football manager, because it's all about keeping your boys happy and they play well. You know, when the boys start getting a bit upset, that's when it all kicks off. One of the things I particularly enjoyed at FM19 is the dynamics. I like seeing who likes me, who doesn't like me now. I like seeing the little sets where you see people not happy and why they're not happy. The dynamics has been my favourite new feature for FM19. I sort of hope that they wouldn't try and revamp it for FM20. They haven't. That's what I'm particularly enjoying. There's been lots of new features for FM20 that have come out. I haven't really looked at the development centre yet. I sort of hate the fact that we haven't got the youth team tab and a reserve team tab anymore. I keep forgetting. I'm thinking, where the fuck is it? And you've got to go to the development centre. So that one annoys me a little bit, but that's just me being very, very picky, because it's hard to pick faults in a game that, for me, is so good. I mean, the easy go-to answers, of course, but we all say, the match engine. But for FM20, the match engine does feel a lot better. It may not look a lot better. We may still have, the FIFA 2004 graphics, but in terms of, we're not seeing the animations be as bad as they used to be when they would dive over the ball every other fucking goal. Do you know what I mean? So there's been a lot of improvements for FM20, I feel.
Yeah, I really like the new features for FM20. I don't think they're huge changes outside of the match engine. I think everything's been very small, quality of life, sort of aggregating all the information onto one page rather than having it spread out everywhere.
Yeah.
I like how they've done that. Development center's okay. It's nice to see at a glance kind of what each section of my team looks like. but I was always diving into my other teams to figure that out anyway. Match engine for me, like day one on the beta was a really nice match engine for me. I didn't have any of the problems people were having. I was just seeing good flowing football. At the moment, there's a bit of an issue with crossing and no long shots, one-on-ones. I'm finding it more difficult to score now. So I'm having to try and play about with it. But it's still massive strides over the match engine we saw in 19, which I would say was the biggest problem with 19. So I think we're definitely moving in the right direction, and I don't really care about the graphics too much. I just want to see my tactics, what I can see in my head, I can put in the game, and I can watch it play out on the pitch. That's all I want, and we're getting there. I think we're almost there, which is a huge step forward for me.
In the words of Dupe, I echo what you just said. You're right regarding the shooting. I mean, I'm having a big issue at the moment. Maybe because I'm in like Denmark. I'm having a lot of shots from silly angles. I've got to shoot less often on for every single player.
Yeah.
But I've got guys shooting near post from the corner of the 18-yard box when there's someone in the box. I've got guys shooting from 35 yards when there's two guys open out wide. But at the moment, the fact that I'm not managing Manchester, bad example, managing Liverpool, I'm taking it as a fact that I'm managing lesser quality players. So I can't say, well, I manage Liverpool because I didn't really do that. I have heard other people talking, especially in the beta, those near post shots that were being highly annoying. I know a lot of people had the issue where there were so many long shots going in, which again I never had because my plays all shit. I've got the opposite where my players just can't fucking get the ball on target. I have like 34 shots and 4 on target. I probably should work on training then, see that, and try and sort that out. But it's good to hear again from someone else that's not just me that struggled with things like long shots, and I don't feel so left out then.
Yeah, I think early on in the beta, I saw a lot of long shots go in, and I was playing as Red Stolberg, and I was pushing those midfielders up as box-to-box midfielders. So because there weren't many balls going into the box, crossing really wasn't working. Again, I was saying, stay wide, run wide with the ball, crossed off and cross to the far post. I was trying to overload them with instructions to make sure they did it, but they always just passed the ball inside. So it was nice to have that long shot from the edge of the area go in for me because I wasn't getting anything out wide. No, I'm not getting either. And so I'm having to really scramble to fix my tactics in a way that still generates enough offense. But I'm playing in Finland at the moment on a journeyman, and I'm quite glad as well because we get caught on the counter and they will shoot from the touchline 35 yards out.
Exactly.
Or miss a sitter and just run the keeper and put it wide, and I'm like, oh, we got away with that one. So it works both ways for me. I mean, they don't seem to have it quite as bad, but I'm riding my luck where I can.
Is that your plan for FM20? Do you plan on doing a journeyman from start to finish, or?
I started, like I say, the beta, I started with Salzburg because I thought Haaland would be good. They've got a number of decent young players, and see just what I could do with a side in the Austrian league. And, again, they don't have a high reputation. There's little to no prize money. So it's not really a way of winning the Champions League that is realistic normally. So I wanted to see how far I could push that. And then I signed up for the public beta, and unfortunately got corrupted and deleted. And so I lost the save. So I thought, I'll go Leipzig. And again, within a week or so, that had gone. So at that point, I was scrambling, okay, what can I do? I enjoyed the journeyman so much last time. It's been a good way of getting me into a game, usually, in the past. So I thought, okay, I'll start. So I did that on stream. We didn't get a club on stream, sadly. But we picked up by a Finnish club and just finished the second season. I've got some good young players coming through. We just had a bit of success at the club. My reputation's growing amazingly. I'm on my 3rd coaching badge. So for now, it just feels like everything's coming together with this save. I still have other ones I want to do. I'm definitely going to return to Swansea.
Hey.
What I did last year. There have been calls for me to play as Cardiff, which I've done in the past.
Oh.
I always try my best, no matter who I'm with.
You get sacked.
No. But there's a number of saves out there as well, past FM favourites. I've got Cologne in Germany, Catania in Italy. I got some other clubs around the world, a couple of Russian clubs who no longer exist, sadly. But they've always been my go-to to dive back into. So I don't know where I'm going next. But for now, the journeyman's been kind to me. And I'm really enjoying, as well, managing at that low level.
I mean, in terms of what you mentioned about working in Austria, I mean, in FM18, I did a journeyman is a bit ambitious, but my aim was to start as FC Basel in Switzerland and work my way around Europe, and I managed to end up at Arsenal, then Liverpool. I went from Basel to Liverpool to Arsenal to Borussia Dortmund. So it's a lot of fun starting off in places like Switzerland, Finland, Austria. And this year I've got myself a Danish save. I've never done a decent Danish save. I did the FC Midland save several years ago when the whole Moneyball thing first came out about their owners. And that lasted about half a season. I sacked it off. But this year I've really enjoyed it. It's hard though because I don't know any of the Danish players. It's different in England because I know who to search for, who to try and buy, what clubs are the best clubs to go for. But in Danish football, I can't pronounce half the fucking teams, let alone try and find a fucking player to sign. Do you know what I mean? But if you haven't tried abroad, a lot of people just stay in England or they go to Germany or Spain. I really would recommend trying another lesser country because, as Chris said, he's got teams like in Germany, in Austria now that he now enjoys and follows, shall we say, due to. And I now keep an eye out for the Basel scores and the Aberdeen scores, all thanks to FM. Because I enjoyed them saves so much that I try and keep an eye out for them.
I always try and find that connection to a club. So for me, the Italian team, Catania, is based in Sicily. It's on the island at the end of the boot of Italy. And when I was taking over, I do what I normally do. I jump on Wikipedia, I search the club, I have a look at the stadium, and then I have a look about the town. And the thing that attracted me was their badge is an old school leather football, and it's got an elephant. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Let's have a look. And it's picturesque, this city in Italy. And in the middle of its town square, they've got a fountain with an elephant rearing up onto his hind legs. And it's just, it's something I never would have known. But I just instantly fell in love with the city and, the club and everything else. And that's always then been in the back of my mind. Do I go back and manage them? And they're lower league again. So you're not dealing with those big name players. If you're doing a journeyman or, as you said, like a tour around Europe or a tour around South America, like anything like that, it's going to be 2 or 3 years at least normally before you get to a big club. In FM, so many players could have changed. You could get a big club falling down into mid-table. You're not going to be playing the same game every time. And that's what people who keep starting in the Premier League every time, play 3 or 4 seasons, they're done, new game, start in the Premier League.
Exactly.
It gets a bit too much for me to do that. So I do like to be a little bit more adventurous. I did start my journeyman in Denmark in the third tier of Denmark last year on FM19. That was brutal. It was brutal, but it was fun at the same time. And it doesn't really matter who you sign because they're all the same level. Free transfers will be a first-team player for you. That's the level you're dealing with. So it's a lot of fun then not to worry about too much. And then the game world around you evolves and changes. And by the time you get up to that top level, everybody's at a different club. There's new superpowers growing. It's just a lot of fun to be in that kind of world rather than just repeating the same save. So I do recommend it.
Any plans to go South America this year or the Asian continent or North America, or do you just plan to stay in Europe?
I want to go back to South America. It's been a few years since I've done that.
I've never done it myself. I've never done it, but I want to this year.
A lot of people have gone River Plate, and they've got a great team. Lots of good youngsters, great academy, etc. I normally go to Brazil, but then they've got a weird league. They've got a regional league and the national league and a split, and it's a bit too much for me when it gets that sort of complicated. I do plan on going back to South Korea. I've got a team over there.
Oh, wow.
Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors.
What?
Yeah. So I'll probably end up managing them again. And if I can find one, I'm going to look for databases for the Canadian Premier League.
Oh, wow. Great shout.
Also for Japan. I want to go and visit those. I'll probably do Korea and Japan together. Maybe end up in China. I don't know. But yeah, I do like now and again to venture outside of Europe, but I know Europe very well. So I normally end up drifting back towards that. But the Mexican League's fun. The MLS isn't, sadly. Too many rules. Far too many rules. But Argentina, Brazil, Chile, all pretty good in South America. I've had great fun there. South Africa is a pretty decent league. Good youngsters, but I don't know. If you can win that league, you can pretty much win everything with that club. So it's a very sort of closed ecosystem for me there. And then, like I say, South Korea, probably my favorite league in Asia.
That's something I didn't know. I've learned something, which I'm glad to hear. I mean, I've never done it myself in Asia. I once did the Australian League, and that's about as far as I went. But South America is saying that I will be doing it at some point this year. The Copa Libertadores, if you can say that properly, I fucking can't. Really got me interested, and I was like, I mean, to me, River Plate sounds too easy because they're just so good. I looked at their team the other day watching the game, and their team looks so good. It's just, and then seeing the starting lineup, and then looking, even the Flamengo team looks insane as well. But I want to go for like a Santos, a Vasco da Gama team for back in the days that produced really good young players, especially strikers. Dave Azzopardi's doing the Octagon Challenge or Heptagon Challenge, whatever the fuck it's called nowadays.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, but so many people start it and can't finish it. The idea of winning every single Champions League sounds like so much fun to me. But the ball ache of having to start with a Sunday League reputation does not interest me at all. It just doesn't interest me at all. Unlike a lot of content creators, you do YouTube and Twitch, don't you? I mean, on your YouTube channel is mostly other games other than FM. How do you find the balance between? Find it quite difficult or easy?
At the moment, it's been difficult. It's been finding time. I'm moving apartments at the start of the new year, so we're starting to pack everything up and try and deal with the move. My health hasn't been the best lately. I've come back to Twitch full time the last 6 months. So time's been the issue, but I do enjoy both platforms. I really enjoy playing live with an audience and that little bit of interaction. I do enjoy that. But then when it goes to YouTube, I don't know, I do enjoy playing other games. A lot of them will be other sports management titles. But I like putting them up on YouTube. I know there's an audience there for them. I know my audience on Twitch is Football Manager based, so I don't really play anything else on Twitch. But when it comes to YouTube, I'm a little bit freer to do what I want. And yeah, I've just enjoyed doing that. So hopefully in the new year, once the move goes through and we'll be able to settle down into a proper routine again, I'll be able to put some FM on YouTube as well. That's been the plan. So hopefully soon.
I started off on YouTube and made the move to Twitch when I basically got my own office in my old house. But now I've moved here to my stay in Wales, a small house. Unfortunately, my computer is now in the living room, which means I can't do Twitch. It's not fair for me to ask my wife to have the TV on fucking silent with subtitles at 8:30 in the evening. So that's why I'm fortunate. I just can't do Twitch. I do YouTube now, and I wait till she goes to bed at 9:30 in the evening, and I then sit down, play some FM, and then record some content. So like you, I do miss Twitch because Twitch is great for that instant reaction. They're talking to someone, them talking to you about their save, your save. They're being asked 400 times, is this player still in the game? Can you look at my club and see which, you know, I do miss some of that. But then also, I do enjoy editing videos. I do enjoy sitting down there, doing the editing, etc. I'm by no means good at it, but I do enjoy doing it. I do enjoy the editing side of things. I enjoy sitting down making thumbnails in Photoshop again. I'm no Wolfie or Dave has a party when it comes to making decent ones, but I do enjoy doing it. So, both have got their hitters and their misses. And for me, it's just trying to find a routine for YouTube, a set schedule when I want to upload my videos. But I do shift work. So it's hard for me to try and find time to record, and I've got 2 kids and a very demanding wife. So again, it's hard, but YouTube has been very, very good to me. Ben Meeks has gone down great on YouTube. But like you, how you could do both. I know you said obviously it's a bit hit and miss at the moment, but the fact that you do both, mate, I take my hat off to you, sir, because I tried that when I first started Twitch. I couldn't do it.
I think I'm very similar to you in that YouTube comes late at night, so my wife works all day, and that's when I do my Twitch, because I'm not working at the moment, so it's easy enough for me then to have a morning schedule, and I'm in America, so that lines up with the afternoon to evening in the UK, where a lot of the audience is. So that works out quite well for me. And then she'll come home, she'll watch TV, I'll make food, we'll do some stuff, and then when she goes to bed, I can then spend an hour or 2 recording YouTube, set all the videos to upload and go for the morning. And it works at the moment. I might have to limit what I do in the future, but for right now, it's working.
Another part of the show that I like to do, but I forgot to do with JC because he was too busy rabbit on about fucking willies and all this sort of stuff, was recommended content creator. I like us to talk about other content creators that we like. Everyone knows about my man crush on the likes of Loki, second year of the card, and of course Bood. The Northwood gets the ump, but I don't mention him. So Paul, I love you too. But do you have a specific content creator or / creators that you particularly like watching, reading, listening to?
There's been a few over the years. Worked the space for a long time. I've always got on very well with Jack, and always been someone I could talk to about certain things. Fox in the Box, another one. Big fan of Foxy.
He's a Watford fan though, so he's a wanker to me.
Yeah. He's okay.
Lee is a top bloke. We give each other shit because I'm a Luton Town fan. He's a Watford fan. But he's a really nice bloke. I like Lee a lot. And I've got a lot of time for him. Even though he's a Watford fan, he's proper sound. And his Twitch stuff, when he did YouTube, his Twitch stuff is up there with the best. I mean, if I see a Twitch streamer on, Lee's the first person I'm going to watch. No offense to you. But just because Lee goes into so much detail and so much stuff, I'm like, shit, I didn't think about doing that before, And there's so much stuff, even like his filters and his viewings and stuff. I'm like, fuck, I didn't think about doing that either. There's so much of his stuff that I've copied or imitated, shall we say. But imitation is the biggest form of flattery, as I tell Loki every time I copy him. But go on, you were going on about Lee and others. Apologies.
No, but like what you say about Lee especially is right. Like he goes into so much detail. I remember when all the Opta stats and the heat maps and everything first came into the game, and I was kind of on the way out of FM at that point. But for years, I was the only one I saw around who explained the mechanics of the game in detail. And I was one of those that was banging on to people every time about morale and why you need to praise this situation and criticize here and go in and praise training. Now it's praise conduct. If you can't praise them for what you want to, just praise conduct. It's a lovely blanket feature. Got a big match coming up? Praise everybody's conduct. Doesn't matter. You're going to get a morale spike for that game. You win that game, that morale carries through. Like, I'm a big believer in those kind of things. And nobody was doing it. But as I was moving out of the game a little bit, Foxy Lee started coming in and explaining all that in such ridiculous detail that even I was sitting there watching, learning stuff, and thinking, oh my God, yeah, great. Sadly, I was walking away from FM a little bit, but I think he does a phenomenal job. I still don't think there's anyone out there that does as good a job with that side of the game than him. So I think a lot of his success is well earned from that. I've got a lot of time for people with that. JC as well, comedy, just brilliance. Choo choo. I love that that's become a thing and nobody's letting that die. And then on Twitch, again, it's a bunch of people I've become sort of attached with lately. We're all on the FM-based stream team until recently together. So people like Keg and Mozza and a couple of the boys, we just really become close friends, doing a lot of things outside of FM together. and building that community, which I think, YouTube's got a great community, and Twitch is becoming a very, very nice community as well. I just absolutely love it. So I'm trying to get out there and support as many people as I can. But
you spoke about guys. Did you see JC's guide to training for FM19?
Yeah.
It was, mate, I was in tears. Bosh, just ask my assistant to do it, mate. I could not fucking stop laughing about that. When I saw that, I was in tears. It was so fucking fun. Because all these guys, like Foxy, go just so much detail. And Jason's like, yeah, fuck it. Bosh, get my assistant to do it. And it's like a minute long. It might even be less than a minute.
Yeah.
It's like a minute long where he's like, Bosh. So funny.
He had like 3 or 4 of them out like in a row where he's like, let's see how quick it takes to get sacked.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Talking to the chairman for the first time, you're like, oh no, I really want this.
Oh yeah,
I continue my job if. Oh well, apparently it's really easy. I don't know what I'm doing for the rest of the job.
I remember that one. Doesn't even call himself doing random things to coincide with that. Yeah, I watched it so long ago that I remember that he I think he recorded himself on the toilet. And then eating something or something, he's like, just to try to fill the time up in the video.
Fake taxi in the bath. And...
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Oh, that's the point where I just fell in love with his content. So I just thought, so many people just wouldn't make this video, but a lot of us will find it funny. He's one of the few that goes up there and like, no, sorry, I'm doing this.
It's going to turn to love it now for JC, and he's going to get all fucking excited over this now. I think we're sucking him off.
He has it on Twitch as well. There's about 4 or 5 of us at least that have a command for him. When he shows up in chat, you just hit exclamation JC and like his YouTube link pops up. And I love the guy. He's a good guy and he's a great creator.
JC's a genuinely lovely guy. I mean, Boone, a lot of people hate on Boone. Oh, Boone's a prick. You've heard it before in the past before Zabu. But again, Boone FM has been nothing but awesome to me. And not just on Twitch and YouTube, but in my private life. I've had issues in the past with mental health and other things. And Boo's always been fantastic. I just said, "Hi mate, how you getting on? How things have been? Are you all right? Was he for the talk?" And he's great. But there's so many guys out there that you think might be a knob, or they appear to be a knob. In reality, they're actually pretty decent people.
Yeah, I've always tried to get to know people. Some were easier than others, but like 99% of people I've met through FM, on YouTube, on Twitch, on forums, have been absolutely fantastic people, and a lot of them have become, really good friends. So there's still a couple I talked to back from like 2009 on my forum days. There's guys from 2011, 2012 when I started doing FM on Twitch properly that I still talk to. And now, like I say, made some really good friends in the community over the last 6 months since I've been back on Twitch. So it's been absolutely fantastic with all those people. And I love that. I love that it's a game where, apart from the odd few here and there, it's a very welcoming community. It's a very helpful community. And, even all the newcomers, like, they get so much support on Twitch.
Yeah.
It's great. And it just seems to be a bunch of really nice guys and a few ladies as well starting to jump in, which again hasn't been a thing, and it's been really nice to see that they've done that.
Well, look at what the Fort gave me, Laura, with her face packs.
My God, they are just sublime.
I still use them. them. I wait till I get a regen and to me, they are regens, not new gens. I don't care what anyone fucking says.
Regen.
But to me, they are regens. And when I get a regen that I really, really love, I add that face pack in. And it gives the game almost realism to me. Yeah. I had a couple of regens on my FM18 save with Basel that I took me from Basel to Liverpool to Arsenal to Dortmund. I took it with me the whole way. I started I was 16 years old as kids at Basel and brought with me. But they had that face pack and it just made it feel so much more real for me. It really did.
Yeah, there are some absolutely phenomenal creators out there. Like Laura with those faces is just mind-blowing. And then you got people like Request the Kit for the kits and the 3D kits. Yeah. I know FM20 is not kind for 3D kits. So hopefully it gets easier for them to do their work.
FM Underdog, I think he's changed his name to something else now, but FM Underdog was also a good lad for doing kits. He helped me out with my Harchester United kits. So he's also been pretty good for that as well.
there's such a lovely community of like top-notch work, and sometimes I just think, why doesn't like SI just go ahead and hire these people?
In their defence, the regens this year do look a little bit better, and one thing they have improved is the manager faces. I've seen some really good looking manager faces. Mine, it's fucking tragic. Like, it looks. I must have took a picture about 20 times. I got the fucking hump in the end. I didn't bother. But because my picture was so bad, that's why I created my virtual manager, Carl Fletcher from Dream Team, my favourite TV program of all time, and I put him in the game, even though he's dead. But in my story mode, I based it that he faked his death and sort of turned up in Denmark to be a manager. But yeah, I've seen some guys like Kangaroo FM. His face paint looks really good. I like him quite a lot. But mine just looks like, I don't know, I've had a fucking stroke or something. You know what I mean? So I couldn't use mine.
Yeah, no, I tried uploading my face, but like the fact that I've got a beard didn't really mesh well with it. So I didn't like that. So I ended up creating one that my wife says looks a bit like me, but when I look at it, all I can see is a fat ginger wing. Maybe that's what I look like. Maybe I just don't get that, but
So what I want to get in now, mate, is my 11 questions. Basically, 11 men on the football pitch, 11 quick-fire questions. Ask as quick as you can, and as honest as you can, if that's all right with you. But good old-fashioned, you want Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Who do you support?
Swansea.
American or Welsh food?
Oh, that's tough. American barbecue is really tough to beat, but I do miss a lot of British foods like pasties.
Welsh cakes?
No, I was never a fan of those.
What?
Yeah.
Right, meet interview over. We're cancelling the interview. How can you not like Welsh cakes?
Raisins and that kind of stuff.
Oh, see, yeah, but you can buy them now. Like, my nan made it with chocolate chips in, because I hate raisins.
Oh,
so
that's different.
You can buy them now with chocolate chips in. Insane.
That might be different, but yeah. No, there's just some from both, but Texas barbecue is... Oh, my God.
It's supposed to be nice.
Smoked brisket is... Yeah, no. Yeah, crazy. The food over here is good, but there are stuff I miss.
What a good old-fashioned Sunday roast.
Yeah, I haven't had a roast in like 4 years. I haven't had jumbo batter sausage, chips and gravy, which...
Fry-ups? Yeah, fry-ups over there?
No, not really. You do them at home. I mean, they're all on about like biscuits and gravy and pancakes and that.
What is a biscuit, by the way?
It's kind of like a scone, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I
wish it was like a couple of digestives or something.
Yeah, no. It's kind of weird. It's not for me. It's not for me.
I've ruined the whole fucking 11 Spitfire questions, haven't I? So we'll carry on. FIFA or Pro Evo?
Pro Evo.
Good lad. That's what I want to hear. Favourite film?
The Sting.
Never heard of it. What's
1970s.
Okay.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
A favourite TV show?
Sons of Anarchy.
I love that show. Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation, but I haven't owned any consoles in years.
Favourite meal?
Oh, brisket.
Brisket, man. What's your favourite 3 players of all time? 4 players, of course.
Lee Trundle.
Good lad.
Michu. Roger Freestone.
Michu, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Steven Gerrard.
I had Trundle when I was at Luton Town non-league. He was like 37 years old and he was still smashing goals in for fun. I signed him with a free transfer. He's about 37, the fucking non-league, and just smashing goals in for fun. And then my save got corrupted.
Yeah.
When I learned the game back up to start over again, Lee Trundle wasn't in the database, so I don't know what the fuck happened, but I was absolutely... Anyway, what one superpower would you like?
Teleportation.
And club versus country?
Club.
Really?
Club.
So you choose Swansea win the Premier League if Wales win the World Cup?
Yeah.
Wow, shots fired, boys. Well, I'm more fascinated by your 11 questions, bruv, than the whole fucking interview. Some stuff there which just blew my mind. If I started that, the fucking interview would have stopped there. I was like, what? How did you know like Welsh case? Anyway, A little high pitch there. Anyway, if you want to give yourself a shout out, bruv, give yourself a social media shout out. Again, it's all going to be in the description down below. But mention your Twitch, all that sort of stuff for us. That'd be great.
Yeah, so twitch.tv/ChrisOrmie. I'm Chris Ormie on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. Keep it easy for everybody. But yeah, I stream Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I think it's 4 p.m. start UK time. So I normally go 3 or 4 hours on Twitch. I try and upload daily on the YouTube. It's not going so well right now. We'll get back on that. After the move happens in the new year, we'll refocus and get that going again.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. It really, really has. I appreciate you coming on. You've been listening to me, Ben Meets, in association, presented by, sponsored by, all this sort of stuff. Passion4FM, for all your FM needs, graphics, tactics, blah, 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 blah. Head over to Passion4FM. You will not be disappointed. Again, I can't tell you how their guys at the moment are shit hot. It tells you a variety of things from how to create a manager, different things in the game that you may not know that you do need to know, all this sort of jazz. But again, Passion4FM is the place to go. But anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to bid you all adieu. See you later.